listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are checking the celebrations of the day.
I got a bad feeling about this.
National Creativity Day, National Hole in My Bucket Day. I don't know why they did this one. The only one we can really go with, National Water a Flower Day. Crazy. Unbelievable. But I look at it, it says National Mint Julep Day. Why would they be doing a mint julep at the end of May when we generally know the mint julep? Isn't that supposed to be the item that we want for the Kentucky Derby? That's the first Saturday of May. We all know that. Unbelievable. Wonder what they're going. What are they thinking about here? Unreal. Checking the markets for you today. Dow Jones Industrial Average. You know, it's fascinating to me how many people I chat with all the time who just don't get it. As I look at the markets this morning, we're looking the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 275 points, 275. We are up today. I tell you this all the time. Yesterday we were down a bunch, and today we're up a bunch. Don't get too excited with these things. You can never get too excited simply because the markets will always overreact. So don't get too excited by whether they're going either way. If you try and time the market, unless you're a day trader, don't try to time the market. It's not going to work. You're not going to be successful at it. I mean, 2% of the time we're able to really time the market properly. So save your money. If you're a day trader, that's something different. All you're really doing is you're not really trying to do a whole lot with the market in that instance. What your goal is to play momentum. And I get it. There are people that are doing that. And that is, I understand that game. I've done it, so it's not an issue. But here's the part that really is meaningful is if you are an investor, long-term investor, if you're dealing with your retirement money, don't be putting it and trying to time the market. The idea here is to dollar cost average in or out. Dollar cost average in or out. Days like today, you might want to take a little bit off the table. Days like yesterday, where you had the markets down quite a bit, you want to put money to work for you. If you're doing those kind of things and you're doing it on a strategic basis, you might say that every Friday I'm going to take and I'm going to invest, $1,000 into the market. And you're going to put it into something that's diversified. Now, I'm not going to give you investment advice here, what to put your money into. That's not the focus of our broadcast. That's not what we do here. But I do want you to get the idea and the concept. So when you talk to that professional, when you talk to that the professional planner that's helping you out, and I recommend all the time using a professional planner to do these things for you. Where'd that one come from, guys? But I recommend getting a professional individual to help you out all the time. Don't try and do this yourself. If you're trying, again, I'm not talking to those of you who are day traders. I'm not talking to you. I am talking to the investor, the person that's trying to save money for their retirement. That's who I'm really chatting with here. How do we do that? That's the concept. So it's dollar cost average in. Every paycheck, you put $100 or $1,000 or whatever the number is to work for you. That way when the market is down, you're going to buy more of whatever that is you're getting into. When the market is up, you're going to buy a little bit less. But over time, that's called dollar cost averaging, and it works for you. It's beneficial to you. So don't get too excited either way. Now, if you are thinking about selling, if you're needing your money to buy a house, to do something along those lines, hey, now we're talking about a whole different ballgame. We're into a different world right there. If your contemplation is that you're trying to sell, to buy a house, to retire, to go on vacation, you don't want that money in the market at all. If you're looking at buying a house in the next 12 months, you need to be starting to take money off the table, take money out of the market. That's how you play these same situations, is you're selling every Friday, maybe that same $1,000. Now, many people are in the world, and I highly recommend that you have an emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? Well, that's the money that's set aside to pay your monthly bills. If you can have 6 months worth of liquidity to pay your monthly bills, you're going to be doing really well. Why? Well, the concept there is that you want to make sure that you don't have to sell on a day like yesterday when the market was down, because then you're going to say, oh, doggone it, I sold, the market's down. Instead of buying low, selling high, you're doing the exact opposite. That's not what you want to be doing. You want to buy low, sell high. The dollar cost averaging allows you to do that. So if your plan is to buy a new house next May, you want to start taking a portion of the money out of the market on a regular basis. Maybe every 2 weeks you're gonna take $1,000 or $500, whatever the number is, and put it aside for that money. If you have your emergency fund, seniors, you want to have a couple of years worth of cash on hand. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be, certainly I don't want you to have Benjamin Franklin type cash. It needs to be in the bank. It needs to be in your checking account. Some in your checking, some in your savings, and some in CDs. The CDs are very, very safe. So you can have those maturing every 3 months, so that way you don't have to worry about it, and then you buy another 2-year CD every 3 months. That way you're constantly having 2 years worth of liquidity available, and then take and put all of your Social Security, your pension plan, your 401k, that's going to all go right back into your investment plan, because you're always going to have 2 years worth of liquidity available to you. Does that make sense? Do you understand how we're talking about doing those things to try and help you out on a regular basis? We want to have a systemized plan for you so that the market doesn't control you, you control your own destiny. That's what it's all about. Let's check the news just a little bit, because I kind of bloviated a little bit longer than I normally do when we're talking about some of these great issues of the day. Unbelievable. Let's see what else is going on. What else is going on? Roseanne Barr, obviously, that's the big story of the day. Starbucks, the big story of the day. Starbucks is just a crazy one, right? I mean, that one, how do you even contemplate what Starbucks is doing? Masterful job. Now, I haven't heard one person other than Ron Siegel Radio talking about what Starbucks really, their end game, their motivation. They got tens of millions of dollars of advertising by closing their stores for a few hours yesterday. Now, in the West Coast, they closed at 2:30 in the afternoon, and they didn't reopen. Now, if the store's normally open till 9 or 10 o'clock at night, 7 hours of training, I doubt it. Now, here's the issue, though, is they've got, like I say, tens of millions of dollars of advertising, because people are out there thinking that it really meant something. Do you think that they really did a lot of changes yesterday? I was listening to their CEO on one of the business channels this morning, and he's talking about the fact that they did train their people, but they're going to be going through ongoing modular training. Ongoing modular training. What does that mean? That means they sit in the back room and they've got a TV or they've got a computer screen and they're able to get their training in the back room. You don't think they could have been doing that over the last month the exact same way? You don't think that was possible? They don't have the capabilities of doing the exact same things? I'm going to suggest to you they had every opportunity. They just had a strategic plan that they were going to wanted to make a political statement. Now, Starbucks is a very political company. They're the first to admit it, I believe, that they have their social agenda. But they made a lot of money by doing these things. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, things to do when faced with foreclosure. Millennials, they're skipping the starter home and going for their dream home. Things to do. How to help your kids to learn 6 big credit mistakes. We've got a lot to cover today. Gift tax limits and steps to ramp up savings into the spring. I think we got a lot to cover. We better get to it. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number is 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay will be available. The replay is available, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations. NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel Radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage when you're ready for that next mortgage. Gold Star has the programs, the products for you. They've got some of the programs that many people don't even know would be beneficial for them. That would be the Fast Pass loan approval. Yeah, get that Fast Pass loan approval. That way you know that you were totally underwritten before you go to make an offer. Your real estate professional can then help you, work with you, trying to work with you and getting you a same as cash offer. That's easy for me to say, right? I mean, you get it. Trying this guy that speaks for a living can't even get the words out this morning. Yeah, that same as cash offer. That's the big issue right there. What's going on in the markets today? The Fannie Mae 30-year bond. Wow, that one there is way down. I told you yesterday if you had an outstanding loan that you were working on, get it locked. If you were capable today, the bond is down 27 basis points. Ow! Yeah. Holy cow, these guys are a little loud this morning, aren't they? To see if we can get their volume down just a little bit. But the 10-year Treasury up 9 basis points. So we're watching both of those very, very closely for you. What's driving that bus is the question that we want to pose right here. What's driving the bus to get us to that point where we're seeing those numbers as they are? Well, a lot of it is the recouping of the losses from yesterday. The political fears in Italy have subdued for now. Still sit there without a government, though, in Italy. The mortgage bonds are lower, but have started to improve and are off the worst levels from earlier this morning. The big news of the day, though, was the ADP employment report, which showed that there were 178,000 jobs created in the month of May. This was slightly lower than expectations of 185,000, but there were also large negative revisions. The April report was revised lower from 204,000 to 163,000. That's a big revision downward. The goods producing sector added 64,000. Service sector only added 114,000, which is the smallest amount in 8 months. Like I said, good producing sector added 64,000, which is the second most in 15 months. The 3 and 6 month averages are now at 180,000 and 212,000 respectively, which is still strong. Biggest reason for the decline in job growth is likely a lack of qualified workers. Peter Bachver shared the chart that I showed out earlier on social media, showing the pool of available labor relative to the size of job openings available. And that number just keeps on diminishing. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported that mortgage applications fell 2.9% last week. Applications to purchase a home dropped 1.9%, but are still up 2.3% from this time last year. Considering the higher interest rate environment and lack of inventory, this is pretty amazing. Refinances declined by 4.7% last week, bringing the year-over-year figure to down 27%. The refinance index is at its lowest level in 18 years. The refinance share of mortgage activity decreased from last week's 35.7% to 35.3% of total applications, the lowest share in almost 10 years. Average 30-year mortgage rate decreased slightly from 4.86 to 4.84 in the U.S., roughly 67 basis points or slightly more than 0.5% higher from this time last year. The adjustable rate mortgage share of mortgage activity decreased slightly from 6.8% to 6.7% of applications. Although mortgage bonds are lower, still trading above that dual floor of support that we talked about yesterday, formed by the 76.4% Fibonacci level of 101,988 and the 50-day moving average. There is a 24 basis points of room to the upside before reaching the next ceiling. Talked about that yesterday. Also, there is potential negative stochastic crossover, which is a negative for future bonds. Getting pretty technical there. We'll try and stay away from that stuff. Big numbers coming out tomorrow. We still have and Friday are some of the bigger numbers of the week that we'll be looking at. That is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. They are the only ones that I know of that have that Fast Pass loan approval. Fast Pass loan approval, that's the one that we're talking about. So news also in the marketplace. Thought that you might want to take a look at this one. Chase Sapphire Reserve Card got a little less generous. Are you looking at these things for yourself? Are you watching the services that your cards provide? A lot of people don't take advantage. They pay the annual fee on some of these different credit cards that they have, but they don't look at what the perks are, what the benefits are. Well, the Chase Sapphire, as of, I believe it's August 26th, no longer offering price protection as a perk on its Sapphire Reserve card. The company announced earlier this month that perk, which allows cardholders to be reimbursed for purchases they make if the item can be found for a cheaper at a different retailer, no longer be offered. So there are some people that are following this. Some people think it's a big deal. For the most part, I wonder how many people. Do you have? Send us a text message or email, ron@ronsiegelradio.com. Let me know if that's even something that's on your radar. Is it something that you follow? Do you know what the benefits are of the credit cards that you have? Just a thought for you. Just a simple little question for you. Moving right along. Gift taxes. Are you aware that there is a limit as to how much you can give as a gift? People follow that at all? So I saw this article and I thought I would share that with you. If you've given or received a large gift in the last year, you may need to pay tax on it if it's over a certain limit. At the same time, you may not have to pay tax, depending on how much you have already gifted away over the course of your life. How much you gift will also affect how much of your estate you can shield from the federal estate tax when you die. So what is the gift tax limit? Let's break it down, what all this means to you and how it might impact your federal tax bill. So what is gift tax is the first question. The IRS defines that as any transfer to an individual, either directly or indirectly, where full consideration is not received in return. In other words, if you write a big check, gift some investments, or give a car to someone other than your spouse or dependent, you have made a gift. The IRS has a gift tax limit for both the amount you can give each year and for what you can give over the course of your life. If you go over those limits, you have to pay a tax on the amount of gifts that you are over the limit. This tax is the gift tax. In almost every case, the donor is responsible for paying gift tax, not the recipient. A recipient will only pay gift tax in special circumstances where he or she has elected to pay it through an agreement with the donor. Even though recipients don't face any immediate tax consequences, they can face capital gains tax if they sell gifted property down the line. There are two numbers to keep in mind as you think about gift tax: the annual gift tax exclusion and the lifetime gift tax exclusion. The annual gift tax exclusion is $15,000 for 2018. It was $14,000 in 2017. This amount of money that you can give as a gift to one person in any given year without having to pay any gift tax. Never have to pay taxes on gifts that are equal to or less than the annual exclusion limit. So if you want to send me a check for $14,999, I am more than happy to take that from you. And you don't have to pay taxes on it. Annual gift exclusion limit applies on a per recipient basis. This gift tax limit isn't a cap on the total sum of all your gifts. This gift tax limit isn't a cap on the total sum of all your gifts for the year. You can make individual $15,000 gifts to as many people as you want. You just cannot give any one recipient more than $15,000 within 1 year. If you're married, you and your spouse can each gift up to $15,000 to any one recipient. If you give more than the exclusion to a recipient, you will need to file tax forms to disclose those gifts to the IRS. You may also have to pay taxes on it. If that's the case, the tax rates range from 18 up to 40%. Ow! However, you won't have to pay any taxes as long as you haven't hit the lifetime gift tax exemption. The lifetime gift tax exemption. What is that one now? Well, most payers won't ever pay gift tax because the IRS allows you to gift up to $11.2 million over your lifetime without having to pay gift tax. That is, lifetime exemption is double what it was in 2017 because of the new tax plan signed by President Trump in 2017. So let's say that in 2018 you gift $215,000 to your friend. Here I am. This gift is $200,000 over the annual gift exclusion. That means you'll have to report it to the IRS. However, you won't immediately have to pay tax on that gift. Instead, the IRS deducts that $200,000 from your lifetime gift tax exemption. Assuming you have never made any other gifts over the annual exemption, your remaining lifetime exemption is now at $11 million. That would be the $11.2 million. Less that $200,000. Most taxpayers will reach the gift tax limit of $11.2 over their lifetimes. However, the lifetime gift tax exemption becomes important again when you die and pass on an estate. The gift tax and the estate tax, we're going to talk about that in the next segment because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We'll continue with that in the next segment. We're also going to be chatting about some ways, some things to do when faced with foreclosure, millennials skipping starter homes for their dream homes, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Nest, they've got the information. One of the quickest ones I've ever seen at getting data to the marketplace. I haven't seen any sites that will get you the information quicker than Nest, N-E-S-T, to 79564. As soon as you put in your specifics of what you're looking for, you'll get a text message anytime there's a new home that meets your needs. Millennials, they're skipping starter homes for their dream homes. New trend has begun to emerge. With home prices skyrocketing in the starter home category, many first-time home buyers are skipping the traditional starter homes and moving right into their dream homes. So what is a starter home? According to the National Association of Realtors, simply put, a starter home is a 1 or 2 bedroom home, sometimes even a small 3-bedroom home. Quote prices vary widely by market, but starters on average cost $150,000 to $250,000, not in Southern California, while trade-up and premium homes cost upwards of $300,000. Remember, these are national numbers. You can probably double them for Southern California. Finding their forever homes now. A recent CNBC article revealed that there are many factors that delayed older millennials, ages 25 to 35, from buying a home earlier in their lives. The after effects of the Great Recession, teaming up with larger education costs, forced many to either remain living in their parents' homes or to rent. With the economy continuing to improve, many millennials have been able to break into better paying jobs, which has helped spur down payment savings. As the dream of home ownership comes closer to reality, many millennials are saving for their forever homes. According to the latest statistics from the National Association of Realtors, 30% of millennials bought homes for $300,000 or more this year, up from 14% in 2013. Why? Well, they rented for longer. Now they're going to where they want to stay. More and more millennials are settling down, getting married, starting families, which is a huge factor driving them to look for larger homes. Increased competition in the starter home market has also been a driving force in waiting to afford their dream homes. Inventory in the starter home market is down 14.2% from last year, according to research from Trulia. This has driven prices up and has led to bidding wars. Many first-time buyers who are originally looking for starter homes are realizing that for just a little bit more of an investment, they could afford trade-up or premium homes instead. The bottom line, if you plan on purchasing your first home this year, let's chat. Let's determine how much you can afford. You may be pleasantly surprised, and that is the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. So in the last segment, we were talking about gift taxes and what you can give, how much you can gift. Let's look at the gift tax and the estate tax now. How do those interrelate? How do those interact? The federal government will collect estate tax if your estate has a value of more than the federal estate tax exemption. The exemption for 2018 is $11.2 million. At the same time, the exemption for your state your estate may not be the full $11.2 million. You can only exempt your estate up to the amount of your remaining lifetime gift tax exemption. So let's say that you have lowered your lifetime exemption down to $10 million by making $1.2 million in taxable gifts. Federal government would then tax any estate that you pass on to someone for all value over $10 million. Tax rates go up to 40%, just as with the gift tax. All this means that one way to prevent taxation of any assets you pass on is to gift those assets in increments of $15,000 or less. This could take some planning on your part, but it is completely legal. Many people don't take advantage of the laws because they don't study the laws. They don't understand them. There are also some gifts that you never have to pay tax on. So what are the gifts that are safe from tax? Taxable gifts can include cash, checks, property, and even interest-free loans. It also applies to anything you sell below fair market value. For instance, if you sell your home to your non-dependent child for $175,000 when it's worth $250,000, the $75,000 difference could be considered a gift. That surpasses the annual gift tax limit and thus is deducted from your lifetime gift tax limit. What constitutes a gift that counts toward your gift tax limit is generally easy to understand. There are several things that the IRS doesn't consider a gift, however. You can give unlimited gifts in these categories without facing a gift tax or having to file gift tax paperwork. Anything given to a spouse who is a U.S. citizen, anything given to a dependent, charitable donations, political donations, funds paid directly to educational institutions on behalf of someone else, funds paid directly to medical service or health insurance providers on behalf of someone else. There are, of course, a few exceptions to keep in mind if your spouse is not a U.S. citizen. You can only give him or her $152,000 each year. Anything above that is subject to gift tax and counts against your lifetime limit. Funds that cover educational expenses refer only to tuition. That does not include books, dorms, or meals. You can skirt the gift tax by contributing to someone's 529 college savings plan with a lump sum and then spreading it over 5 years for tax purposes. The IRS allows taxpayers to donate $75,000 into a 529 plan without paying tax or reducing that amount. Lastly, it's important to call out charitable donations are not only exempt from gift tax, they may also be eligible as an itemized deduction on your individual income tax. So how do you pay the gift tax? First step to paying gift tax is reporting your gift. Complete IRS form 709, United States Gift and Generation Skipping Transfer Tax Return, on or before your tax filing deadline. Download the document, complete each relevant line, sign and date. You then send the form in with the rest of your tax return. Get in touch with a professional for that part of it. Bottom line, the IRS allows every taxpayer can give a gift up to $15,000 to an individual recipient in 1 year. No limit to the number of recipients you can give a gift to. There's also a lifetime exemption of $11.2 million. Even if you gift someone more than $15,000 in a year, you never have to pay any gift taxes unless you go over that lifetime gift tax limit. Still need to report gifts over the annual exclusion to the IRS via Form 709, and the IRS will lower your remaining lifetime exclusion over time and then use that amount to determine how much your estate you need to pay tax on. That is just a little bit of information there for you on gifts, gift taxes, estate planning. Get in touch with some of the professionals. That's why we bring these professionals on the broadcast for you, is not so that you understand everything that I just shared with you. Yeah, you might want to understand the $11.2 million, the $15,000. But from there, the idea is I want you just to have a knowledge of, hey, these things exist, and you may want to be talking to a professional about them to figure out how they fit into your overall planning, your overall strategy. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we will be chatting about things to do when faced with foreclosure and helping your kids to avoid some credit mistakes, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. You just need to go to the website, check in there, and they will give you the information on there. You'll get a weekly update, a weekly email, giving you some ideas on what you can be doing to improve your credit scores. So let's chat this morning about how you can help your kids avoid some credit mistakes. Unfortunately, there is the concept of financial literacy right now is horrible. The schools don't teach anything about financial literacy in them anymore. Do you remember? I don't know if you're old enough to remember the things that I'm on the older side of our radio demographic here. But when we were in high school, they had something called home economics, and it was basically dealing with the finances of the home. We had to carry and deal with a month or a 6 month or whatever the semester was, paying a mortgage, paying bills, paying credit card, paying for food, budgeting, all those kind of good things. They don't do that anymore. It's not on that test that the teachers are all teaching to instead of educating the young people. So most of the young people don't even know how to write a check anymore. I'm not sure many people do write checks, but most of the young people have no clue about writing a check. So how do we teach them these things? Because it's not getting taught in the schools. Adults are lacking in understanding of basic financial concepts, which that can then lead to bad credit, which means then you're going to pay higher interest rates on car loans, home loans, furniture, anything. You can help your kids avoid poor credit by teaching them how to avoid mistakes. So I thought I'd give you 6 common credit mistakes you should teach your kids to avoid. Number 1, first mistake to avoid is ignoring their credit. Easy to ignore your credit when you don't understand how it works or why it's important, but monitoring your credit can be viewed as part of being a healthy, productive adult, just like getting an annual physical. And if you ignore your credit, you could miss out on getting a credit card, owning a car, home ownership, and more. Luckily, paying attention to your credit and credit score is fairly easy. You're entitled to a free annual credit report, and there are many free credit score monitoring tools available. Remember that a credit score is not necessarily the same as a FICO score, which is the number that the mortgage company, credit card companies, they use FICO numbers. The Credit Karmas of the world, they're using Vantage credit scores. Number 2, if your kids understand one credit mistake to avoid, let it be making late payments. Payment history makes up 35% of your credit score, and one late payment can cause your score to plummet. How do you teach your kids the value of saving for retirement before it's too late? Get them started early on financial literacy. Most creditors won't report a late payment until you're at least 30 days past due, but it's risky just to get to that point. Instill the importance of timely payments in your kids, and that's why I recommend frequently get that auto pay set up right before the payment due date, so you're always making a payment and right before that due date. Number 3, young adults may be tempted to apply to several credit cards as soon as they turn 18. They're going to get all that junk mail. This is a mistake for 2 reasons. First, a hard inquiry from a credit card application can ding your credit score. Not a whole lot. So you don't want multiple hard inquiries occurring at once, especially if you're just starting out. Second, it can be difficult to juggle multiple credit cards at once when you're just starting to establish financial independence. Number 4, maxing out credit cards. Again, not a good idea. A higher minimum payment isn't the only consequence of maxing out your credit cards. Experts recommend using no more than 30% of your available credit at any one time. If you would go above that threshold, you could be damaging your credit with a high credit utilization ratio. Your kids should keep their credit card balances very, very low. Number 5, defaulting on a loan, whether it is an auto loan, mortgage, student loan, or other type, has many consequences that will vary based on the type of loan. Your credit will almost certainly take a big hit. Debt collectors may go after you, and you could have your wages garnished as the result of a court judgment. You could even lose your home or have your car repossessed. Many creditors are willing to work with borrowers before they get to that point. If your children are at risk of defaulting, they should try to work out an alternative solution with the creditor. Number 6 is living beyond their means. Loans and credit cards are not free money. Frivolously taking out loans and opening credit cards you can't afford can lead to crippling debt, poor credit, and a lifetime of financial woes. Teach your kids that loans and credit cards are useful tools that must be managed responsibly. You should never buy or borrow when you can't afford it. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by our friends at creditsanitizer.com. Go on the site, get registered, get the information, keep your scores as high as you can. Thought I'd share with you some, because I know that we're going to get into this market again, unfortunately. There is going to be a foreclosure and a distressed real estate market coming. We talked about this in 2007, 2008, 2009, We certainly talked about it a lot in 2010 when we were dealing with loan modifications, that we were going to see some distressed sale projects. Why are we going to see those products? Well, here's the issue. The loan modifications were put in place that your income had to double over the next 5 years. Didn't really happen. So we're going to start seeing recast, and people are not going to be able to afford those properties and those loan mods that they got. Thank goodness there's some equity built up in the property so they can be selling. But if you are faced with foreclosure, maybe we should talk a little bit about what to do then. Number one is have an honest conversation about your financial situation. There's really no way around it. Financial conversations are uncomfortable. But now is not the time to be squeamish. But now, whether you're discussing your financial future with your partner or doing some tough self-reflection, honesty is key. Be practical when assessing your income and budget so you can come up with a number that you can afford to pay each month in an attempt to maintain ownership of your place. Number two, review the appropriate documents. Look over any correspondence or documentation between you and your lender. Letters, notices, and mortgage documents can hold important clues about how your lender might proceed with the foreclosure, including special clauses that allow them to sell your home to settle your overdue mortgage payments. Understanding your rights is the best way to arm yourself for the tough months. Number three is contact your lender. Reaching out to your lender is the first step. No matter how terrified you might feel, remember to reference the number you came up with during your financial meeting. You'll seem confident and organized to the agent on the phone as you attempt to renegotiate your mortgage rate. Number four is contact your lender again and again. Certainly not advocating for harassment, but diligence in communicating with your lender is essential. Each time you call, reiterate that you're checking to see if there's any update on your mortgage rate negotiation. Note the time, date, and the person you spoke with. Ask the associate to make the same notes in your file. Taking initiative is great, but persistence is what will show your lender that you mean business. Number five, get some free advice. Want to show your lender you're even more serious about retaining home ownership? Contact an agency at the Department of Housing and Urban Development. These counselors can advise you on all the possible outcomes of foreclosure and in some cases represent you during the loan negotiation process. Bringing information from these conversations back to your lender will show them you've done your homework. Better still, people who seek this kind of counseling are more likely to keep their homes than those that don't. Number six, speak with a real estate agent. This may seem counterproductive when facing the possibility of losing your home. While you may not want to sell, talking to a realtor that specializes in foreclosures and short sales will put you ahead of the game. Remember, foreclosures are long processes that can be drawn out for a year or more. If push comes to shove, it's better to sell than to have the bank take it away. Number seven, look for more income. Remember that calligraphy, dog walking, graphic design you've been talking about forever. How about that being an Uber driver? Now might be a good time to put your freelance work ideas into action. Drive for a ride-sharing service. Become an Instacart shopper. Any amount of additional income you can use to supplement your monthly fees will go a long way toward getting where you need to be financially. Exhaust all options. You've had some difficult conversations about your finances, explored alternatives of income, and researched foreclosure laws for your state. Seems like you've done everything you're supposed to do, but to no avail. Before officially throwing in the towel, get scrappy. Do some deeper research on rent-free living or talk to others who have gone through foreclosure themselves. Make sure you've exhausted all possible options so you don't spend any time wishing you could have done more. Number 9, plan for the future. Silver lining of going through foreclosure is a new and improved financial education. Use it. Set financial goals. Start putting away money anywhere you can and addressing your credit score. And while it might seem like buying a house after facing foreclosure is impossible, don't give up hope. With hard work, persistence, and time, you'll be back on your feet on your way toward achieving your goal of home ownership. If you're concerned about your credit, you can check the 3 credit bureaus for free once a year. I can give you the sources. Credit.com has some options on there. You can go on to Credit Karma. There's quite a few of them. Or give me a call and I'll put you in touch with some of our credit professionals who are certainly willing to help you get educated on this entire process. It's a lot to it. You can become overwhelmed. You can become paralyzed with inaction. Don't let those things happen to you. I'm sure that it can seem like it's a ton of work. It can seem daunting, but you can get through it. It's not the end of the world. We've talked about this before on the broadcast. Bankruptcy, in some instances, it is the answer for people to get back to living. It does not, again, have to be the end of the world. Just a thought for you. Just a thought for you. And another thought for you is the same one I give you every single morning on Ron Siegel Radio. That thought is to set the first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We will talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.